So we finished the third verse, and now we'll go to the fourth verse. Prabhurapi yadunandano ya esha priya yadunandana unnata prabhava swayam atula kripa mrita bhishekam mama kritavam stam aham gurung prapadye. I take shelter of my Gurudev, Yadunandan Acharya, who is so powerful, Prabhava, and Unnata, so elevated, because he is very dear to Yadunandana Krishna. Priya Yadunandana Unnata Prabhava. And then the third line, Swayam Atula Kripra Mrita Bhishekam. He himself has showered me with his matchless mercy. Swayam Atula Kripa Mrita Abhishekam. He has showered me with his matchless mercy. Mama Kritavams Tamaham Gurung Prapadye. Okay, we'll do it afterwards now. Mama Kritavams Tam Aham Gurung Prapadye. I take shelter of my Gurudev, who has done this for me. So, we'll discuss Gurudev's commentary. The first three verses of Vilapa-kusumanjali are connected to the Siddha Swarup, spiritual form of Raghunath as Rati Manjari. Now after this third verse, in the fourth verse, he has come into external consciousness, Bhaya-dasa, and in this external awareness in his Swarup or form as Raghunath, he is praying to his Diksha Guru, Yadunandan Acharya. Then Gurudev makes an interesting point, saying that Raghunath has two bodies, and they're both eternal and spiritual. So in one body, he is Raghunath Das Goswami in Gaur Leela, and as an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then in another body, he is Rati Manjari, also known as Tulsi Manjari, where he is the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. So he has two eternal aveshas, which means absorptions. He has two eternal egos, you can say. And in one of those, he is always Rupa Raghunath Das Goswami, and in one, he is always Rati Manjari. So it's not that he is Raghunath and meditating on his real form as Rati, and then Raghunath is not real. His form as Raghunath is also eternal and real. And in that form, he is always assisting in Mahaprabhu's Leela. So Gurudev makes the point that we shouldn't think that we are the same like Raghunath, where Raghunath is Rupa's assistant as Rati Manjari, and also he is Mahaprabhu's Leela. Now in our line, we can also attain these two Swarups, one in Gaur Leela and one in Krishna Leela. In our line, we can have that. We have that chance where we can enter both Gaur Leela and Krishna, and we can also have two forms. Something very special about this Gaudiya line. Even if you look at the other Vaishnavas' lines, they don't have this conception. Like even those who are following Radha Krishna, like the Vallabhis and the Nimbarkis, they don't have this idea that eternally you can have two forms. But Gurudev says we have this potential that we can have eternally two identities with two separate egos, awarenesses, or aveshas, absorptions. And both will exist simultaneously without any conflict. That possibility is there for the Atma. We see Krishna, he is at the same time in Dwarka, the same time he is in Puri as Jagannath, at the same time he is Mahaprabhu, pulling himself as Jagannath with the mood of Radhika. So he has all these different aveshas, the different absorptions. Generally when we think of the soul, we think the soul has one consciousness. And it's not easy to, or you're not able to divide that into many different egos or personalities. Some people have multiple personality, but they call it a disorder, multiple personality disorder, where sometimes they act in one way and sometimes they act a completely different way. But that's not at the same time. Or they may be in dialogue with one another, talking to themselves also. But this is also a product of Maya. But in the spiritual reality, we can eternally be in Mahaprabhu's Leela in the eternal realm of Svetadweep in Gaura's Dham, and at the same time we can be Radhika's maidservant in Braja Dham. So that's the potential in our line. It said some people, if they're only worshipping Radha Krishna and they don't worship Mahaprabhu with love, then they may only go to Krishna Leela. That may be their destiny. But generally we worship both Mahaprabhu, as we are here, we have Panchatattva we are worshipping, and we also worship Radha Krishna. So our idea is not just to enter Radha Krishna Leela, we also aspire to be in Gaur Leela. And if we see, we also follow the Chaitanya Mayapur calendar because this shows our loyalty to Mahaprabhu. And also we understand that without taking shelter of Mahaprabhu, we cannot enter Radha Krishna Leela also. That said, Gaura Prema Rasarnave Jai Tarange Jeva Dube Se Radha Madhava Antaranga. When we dive into the ocean of Gaura Rasa and Gaur Prem, then we'll rise up into the intimate association of Radha Krishna themselves. So when we worship Mahaprabhu, then we can also enter Braj Leela. Remember this verse we learned? Gaur Leela, we can say it. Yata yata Gaura Padara Vinde Vindeta Bhaktim Krita Punya Rasi Tata Tathut Sarpita Hridya Kasmad Radha Padam Boja Siddhambu Rasi. That to the degree that we develop one-pointed devotion for Gauranga Mahaprabhu, to that same extent, we will be able to relish and realize Radharas, that nectar of the service of Srimati Radhika, in our spiritual identity as her kinkari or maidservant. So we have that chance to attain that spiritual position. Now, in this world, we have a material body, and this is temporary, and so we should not think that that is the same as Raghunath Das. It's completely different. Gurudev said it's very rare. Raghunath Das Goswami, that level he is on is not easily achieved. So we always pray to him in that position. So we see that in his Vilapa-kusumanjali, the first 3 verses are his avesh or absorption as Rati Manjari in Braj. And then the next 2, the next 3 actually, the 4th one he prays to, oh, you brought tomatoes, very nice. The 4th one he prays to Yadunandanacharya, his guru, and he's meditating on his form as Raghunath. So he's in the absorption in his form as Raghunath. The 5th one he's praying to Mahaprabhu, so he's also in his form as Mahaprabhu's associate. And the 6th one he's praying to Sanatana Goswami, also in his form as Raghunath. Once he gets to the 7th verse, then he starts praying again to Radhika. And from there on, 7, 8, 9, 10, he's praying to Radhika again. So he prays to Raghunath, he prays to his Gurudev, Yadunandanacharya. And Gurudev makes the point that we shouldn't think this prayer is less important. Generally, devotees in Gurudev's line, we like to meditate and pray to Radharani with these very high verses. But we also shouldn't think these other verses are less important. Without Gurudev's mercy, we cannot even imagine service to Srimati Radhika. If we had not met Gurudev, if we had not come in association of Vaishnavas, we'd never even be able to imagine the potential to be able to serve Radhika in the form of a Manjari. So therefore we should not neglect these verses where we are praying directly to Guru. Every time we do bhajans, that's why we first pray to Gurudev, and then to Vaishnavas, then to Nityananda, then to Mahaprabhu, then to Krishna. Only after that do we pray to Radharani. This is very important. And then Gurudev makes another important point. He says, without Vaidhi Bhakti, we can never achieve Raganuga Bhakti. It's also important. Vaidhi Bhakti means following rules and regulations of spiritual life according to different kinds of etiquette and maryada prescribed by Sastra and Guru Vaishnavas. That there's a famous verse we'll also learn. It said, Shruti Smriti Purana Adi Pancharatri Vidim Vina Ekantiki Harir Bhakti Utpat Eva Kevalam. That if we forsake following the rules and regulations that are given in the Shruti Vedas, the Smritis, the Upanishads, the Puranas, and we think I will follow one-pointed bhakti, I don't need to follow Puranas or any of that, then instead of following Raganuga Bhakti, we'll only cause a disturbance. We'll only become an udpat, a disturbance. So therefore, we have to also follow Vaidhi. But our following of Vaidhi Bhakti is not done dryly. Many people follow Vaidhi without any idea of the real goal. So for example, for 30 years they may be chanting Harinam, and you may ask them, what's the goal of life? And they say, oh, you know, we should try to help society, we should try to establish Vanashram Dharma, and ultimately we'll try to get liberation and go back to Godhead. But what will we do when we go back to Godhead? What will we do there? They don't know. It's not clear. So Gurudev says, first understand the goal, and then you can learn the process to achieve the goal. So we have to understand our goal, and in that goal, we choose the rasa we want to follow, or we awaken into that rasa we want to follow by hearing Harikatha. We realize that rasa we want to achieve, and then we increase our greed for that, but we have to follow Vaidhi Bhakti. We see, even though Prabhuji is so advanced, Prabhuji is following very serious Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti means you follow a strict set of principles. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes his Sva Niyama Dasakam. These are the rules I follow in my life. Raghunath Das Goswami writes these. And he follows Vairagya. And we see the Vaishnavas. Every day they chant their Harinam. Every day they do Kirtan. Every day they go to Arti. Every day they serve the Vaishnavas. They make prasadam. They serve the deities. This is all part of Vaidhi Bhakti. People who think, I'll just follow Vaidhi Bhakti, I'll just sit in my room all day and meditate on Ashtakali Lila, ultimately they will fall away and become engaged in material life. So we have to follow this strong foundation of spiritual life through Vaidhi Bhakti. But we do it with the mood of Raganuga Bhakti also. We don't do it dryly. Many people may follow Vaidhi Bhakti dryly, without any mood or without any goal. So we discard that. We follow Vaidhi Bhakti that is nourished by Raganuga Bhakti. But Vaidhi is the platform. What is Vaidhi? Like in that song we sing, Kotai Go Premamoy, it said, Niyam Korai Sarai Dake Radhe Radhe. That's Vaidhi Bhakti. Niyam means I follow this rule and regulation. So when we say Niyam Korai Sarai Dake, what is my rules and regulation? What is my Vaidhi Bhakti? I'll always chant Radha Nam. So it's Raga Nuga Bhakti with Vaidhi Bhakti mixed, combined. If it's just Vaidhi Bhakti, then we have no taste, no ras, no lobe, no greed. But our rules and regulations are like Kartik Vrat, chanting these songs, praying for Radha Dasyam, developing the mood of Braj Bhakti, following all things that are favorable to increase our greed for Braja Bhakti. That's our Vaidhi. We don't follow dry Vaidhi, or Vaidhi that's not focused on Braja Bhakti. So then Gurudev says that we cannot progress without following some Vaidhi. We have to follow some rules and regulations. We see like the Sahajiyas. What the Sahajiyas do, they are cheap imitators. They think, no need Vaidhi Bhakti, I'll just meditate on Radha Krishna Lila. But they end up engaging in illicit association with men and women, thinking everything is equal, everything is the same. I can practice Radha Krishna's love here in this world. That's Sahajiya. But they don't have any platform of Vaidhi Bhakti, therefore they fall down, and Gurudev says they'll go to hell. So we have to follow Vaidhi Bhakti. Gurudev would say that in class, he said, people nowadays, they don't even know how to clean themselves after passing stool, and yet they think they are a manjari. Gurudev would say, they think now I am this manjari, that manjari, and they may go to the Babajis, and for a few rupees, you can get your spiritual name, and now this is what manjari you are, this is your seva, and now you are Brajabasi. But they don't even know how to clean themselves after passing stool. So I said, we need to learn first these basic types of etiquette and basic foundation of spiritual life, and then gradually we can progress. So both things are there, and that's why Prabhuji teaches both things. So Prabhuji will speak something very high, but then Prabhuji will bring it down back to the basics. And if people are only speaking high things, but not speaking the basics and helping people follow the basics, then ultimately we will be bound to fall down. Okay, so further going into the commentary. So when he says Yadunandana, it refers both to Krishna, Yadunandan, and also to Nandanandan in Braj. So he said Yadunandan really means Krishna, Nandanandan's son. Because our worshipful Lord is Krishna Nandanandan, Yashodanandan, then we accept Yadunandan as Krishna in Braj. So when we say Priya Api Yadunandana, this refers both to Yadunandanacharya as well as to Krishna himself. What else in this second, third, fourth verse? So Raghunath here is praying to his Gurudev Yadunandan. And he says even from his childhood he had so much devotion for his Gurudev. And also he said we should not neglect our Guru who helped us very much. Like there's 5 kinds of Guru. Vardma Pradarshak Guru who brings us to the path. And we should not dishonor them. We see that Bilvamangal Thakur in his first verse of Krishna Karnamrita, first he prays to Chintamani, who was a prostitute. But she was like his Vardma Pradarshak Guru. And in the beginning of his most important composition of prayers to Krishna and Radharani, first he prayed to Chintamani. Chintamani Jayashri. First he prayed to Chintamani, even though she was like a courtesan or a prostitute. He prayed first to her because she was like his bhajan guru or his Vardma Pradarshak Guru. She inspired him to perform bhajan. She said, you are so attached to my mundane body. If you had even a little bit of the attraction you have to my body, to Krishna, then you would be liberated. So first he prayed to her. So Gurudev makes this point that we should never try to step over Guru or anyone who's helped us in this spiritual life. In the Bhagavatam, in the story of Dattatreya, he prays to 24 Shiksha Gurus and he glorifies them all. So we always honor. Prabhuji tells the story of Vaman Goswami Maharaj. When he was a young boy, he was in the school of the Bhaktivinoda Institute. And Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada would come and he asked him, who is your Guru? And Vaman Goswami Maharaj first glorified his teacher there in the school. He said, you are my Gurudev, but also he is my Gurudev, and I'm honoring him. So anyone who is helping us in our spiritual life, anyone helps us make advancement, we also pray to them. But at the same time, we don't offer the equal respect. That is said that Amani Manad Hoy Krishna Nam Sadalabe. You should honor everyone according to their position. So in the first verse he prays to Rupa Manjari, and it's not the same as his prayer to Yadunandan. So Yadunandan helped him and he prayed and honors him, but not the same level as Rupa Manjari or Rupa Goswami, or even as Sanatana Goswami. So this also shows Prabhuji's point that Parakiya Guru may be more prominent than Diksha Guru. Because Diksha Guru is Yadunandan Acharya and Parakiya Guru is Rupa Goswami or Rupa Manjari. And then also he prays to Sanatana Goswami, who is also like a Parakiya Guru. So we have to try to take all these different things into account. But also we honor Shiksha Guru. Anyone who's helping us, we should have full honor for them. So Gurudev tells the story of how he grew up, but we already talked about this, so we don't need to go over it. How he grew up, how he received Diksha, how he had the association of Haridas Thakur. Gurudev talks about all of that. And then we'll just finish with this quick thing. Gurudev makes the point that Guru Seva is the backbone of Bhakti. And if we don't have Guru Seva, service to Guru, we can never enter Bhakti. And if we don't have Guru Nishta or faith in Guru, then we can never enter the kingdom of Bhakti. So that's why in all these initial verses he's praying to his Guru. The first verse is glorifying Rupa Manjari, and the second is glorifying Rupa and Radhika, who is also his transcendental Prem Guru. And then the third verse also, it's a glorification of Rupa Manjari indirectly because it's putting the verse that she spoke there. And now the fourth verse is glorifying Guru. And then the fifth is also glorifying Mahaprabhu, who is also his Guru. He also considered Mahaprabhu like his Guru. And also the sixth verse is Guru. So the first 6 verses, he's glorifying. 3 are glorifying Guru Tattva in Braj, in the transcendental realm of Braj, in his internal realization as Rati Manjari there. And then 3 verses are glorifying Guru in his form as Raghunath Das Goswami. So 1 in his identity as Rati Manjari, he's glorifying Guru, and as his identity in Sadhaka Leela, as Gauranga's associate, 3 verses are glorifying Guru. And Guru is the mercy of Krishna personified. That's another thing Gurudev said, that Guru is like our bosom friend, and we want to develop Vishrambena Guru Seva, a mood of intimacy with Guru. Like we are Guru's dear friend. Like Param Gurudev with Bhaktisiddhanta, Bhaktisiddhanta would call him Tu, which is a word used only for like your wife or your servant or someone who you are very closely connected with. So we want to have a close friendship with Guru like that. So Gurudev makes that point. And so basically in this 4th verse, Gurudev describes for a long time the glories of Guru Tattva. and how without Gurudev we can never progress in our spiritual life. So we must always honor Gurudev. In his Bhakti Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami writes one important verse. He said, Shuddha Bhaktas Tveke Shri Guru Shri Sivasya Cha Bhagavata Mahabeda Dristim Tat Priya Tamatvaneva Manyaste. We must honor Shri Guru. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll learn the last part of that verse we're doing. And we just remember here, we pray to Gurudev, and remember that Gurudev is the very personification of Krishna's mercy. That's why he's called Karuna Gana Ganatvam. He's the condensed form of Krishna's mercy. And therefore, if we want to approach Krishna, we cannot do so without taking first shelter of Sri Guru. Alright, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo.